So type number one, and let me know if this is the type that you're attracting. The type number one is the narcissist. The narcissist. This is one of the main types that women attract, okay? And in this category, we can also place whatever you would consider controlling, aggressive, abusive, right? Selfish. We can put all of that into this category. The narcissist. The narcissist is not, you're not attracted to a narcissist unless, what? Unless you have mommy issues, unless you're operating from the wounded feminine, unless you are an empath of some kind. You're not, because your energies won't collide, like they will collide. So the narcissist operates from the wounded masculine. This person has what? This person has daddy issues. This person has the father wound. Does that make sense? And this person, this is a lot of information right now, but you can go back and rewatch this. This person has an avoidance attachment style, which is why they withdraw love and they give you love or whatever they claim or portray as love. Like, here's a little bit, but I'll take it back. Here's a little bit, I'll take it back, right? So this person grew up not having their needs met at all. And whereas an empath starts tending to everyone, the narcissist starts tending to himself or herself. So naturally then, if you are an empath, learning to care for everybody else, there's something attractive about a narcissist, because a narcissist is kind of like, in their own world, doing their own thing. And you're like, I love that. Like, I want some of that too. Like, I would want to be more independent and less caring of what other people think and just like in charge. Like, that's attractive to me. Wow, I like that. I'm not saying you're saying this consciously, but subconsciously, this is what happens. And we got to dive into the subconscious to understand these types of attractions, okay? So the narcissist is the first one. Let me know if that one resonates. Let's say my dad left when I was 3 years old, but my great-grandparents had a loving relationship of 61 years. Wow. I loved each other, peace in the home, and I was partly raised by them. I've never seen arguing or negative relationships, only once when my mom married an alcoholic like herself. And I have the tendency to go out with people like my mom, not like my great-grandparents, even though I desire that. But my great-grandparents were always helping my mom. I guess that's what I thought love was. Boom. Powerful. I love that. See, by just like putting your story out, it makes you see yourself, the pattern. Like, this is where it started. This is what triggered it. This is what brought me here. This is the belief that I developed. This is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm trying to save this person. This is why I'm letting this person get away with this. This is why I'm still staying here. This is why I'm controlling. Boom, 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 boom. It makes sense. This is when it started. Like, this is so powerful when you can bring it out and you can really see it for what it is. Yes, and I don't understand why. Yes, I have attracted narcissists. I am an empath, I believe. Anastasia, is that how you pronounce it? Yes, so true. My person has those exact issues, and I will be honest, I had an estranged relationship with my mother. Very true. Rose said, with my dominance, depending on the man, I become over-dominant, which makes me a bad person, but dominant man makes me so submissive that I lose myself. Powerful. I prefer to be submissive because I am mean, which brings out my dominance. Kim said the narcissist I have went out with had their needs met, spoiled by parents where I did not have my needs met. Okay, so this is the thing. When I talk about not having their needs met, having your needs met, growing up with a secure environment, with a secure attachment style, for example, in a very loving and secure home, that doesn't mean you were spoiled, okay? So spoiling a child is not setting them up for success. Having their needs met, I'm talking about the love that they need, the care that they need, the basic stuff, an environment that sets them up for growth. not talking about being spoiled. And that's what can happen, yes, with narcissists, that they are very spoiled in a way, but their basic needs are not tended to. So they may have everything and they may seem like they're fine, but on the inside, they haven't had their deepest needs met. They haven't had their emotional needs met, if that makes sense. At least I don't feel like I am a narcissist, but I do attract them. And I know I have father wounds, but maybe I have the mother wound also. Yes. So for example, personally, I'm just going to share real quickly. I have not really attracted narcissists. Not narcissist, I wouldn't say. But I grew up with someone who was narcissistic. And I did attract an aspect that the narcissist usually has, which is going to be the second type that we dive into, that people usually attract. But I wanted to make this type separate. I want to make this type separate because this type is not necessarily narcissistic, okay? But this aspect of this person that we're going to be talking about next can be considered to be the narcissist too, because it's just one aspect of the narcissist. But again, I made it their own type, okay? So if you're attracting narcissists, you're not attracting narcissists because you are narcissistic. Y'all are not going to go together. You're most likely going to be more of an empath, okay? Kim said, true, we both didn't have our emotional needs met. Maybe that is why that's what we related on and understood each other. Yeah, so that's what we refer to as a trauma bond, okay? You don't know it consciously, but both of you are wounded and you share that and you feel that. And it's not necessarily communicated, but it's felt, okay? And then you kind of feed off of each other. And I always bring up the bully and the person being bullied, the analogy of that. The person who's bullying is very dominant, is operating from the wounded masculine, has daddy issues, okay? And they're like the representation of the narcissist, like the perpetrator. But the person being bullied is operating from the wounded feminine, has mommy issues, is very suppressed, and is like the victim, right? The prey. And it's the same thing in life when it comes to who you are attracting. So it's not like these two people say, hey, I'm here, I'm wounded too, come over here and bully me. No. It's like this subconscious language. The bully knows who to pick out. The bully just knows. So the narcissist just knows who's operating from the wounded feminine. Well, I think, don't we all have some sort of trauma? Will I ever find them? We all have trauma to some extent. Even if you grew up in a loving home, you could have been in a car accident or a natural disaster happened or something happened, or you lost your job and you struggle with your finances, you couldn't take care of you or yourself or your family, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Will I ever find him? Is that an empowering question that feels good in your body, right? So when we're thinking about anything that is related to your future partner, has to be clean energy, right? So asking questions that don't feel good in your body is not that, okay? Just a pointer right there. I can see that. Thank you for clarifying. My pleasure. So true. I know it's like all the wolves come for me. They're so attracted to me, right? And this is what I was talking about when I made a post about, like, you don't always have to worry about red flags when you figure out you. Because once you get yourself in line, you're not going to be attracting these people. They may come here and there, but you're like, you can detect it because you have this internal detector. It's like, oh, okay, that person is not for me. Let me continue on and not cling on to every person that shows interest in you. Okay, let's move on. All right. So the narcissist is the first one. This is the toxic type, who's aggressive, who's controlling, who's selfish. Okay. And this is the type that is operating from the wounded masculine, has father issues, and has an avoidant attachment style, avoidant dismissive to be specific. And this type usually attracts you as a woman who's operating from the wounded feminine with mommy issues, trauma from your mother, okay? And you are codependent. You're attracted by this person's independence in a sense.